Here's your Farm and Ranch report from the Montana Ag Network.
Good morning, everyone. Today we see that in the months after the Tyson beef plant fire in Holcomb, Kansas. Representative Gianforte took to the House floor this week to discuss the state of the cattle market, along with USDA's investigation in the fire's aftermath, and also reminded Congress to not forget about the nation's cattle producers.
I asked Secretary Perdue to investigate the cattle market following the Holcomb fire, and he agreed. The USDA expects the investigation to wrap up by the end of this year. I urge the House to do the right thing by America's ranchers and also to look into this cattle market.
The National Cattlemen's Beef Association provided insight into USDA's investigation.
The situation coming out of the Holcomb fire played into a market that is already challenging for our producers on the ground. That's something we're acutely aware of, and anytime a part of the value chain is struggling, that's something we want to pay close attention to. The encouraging thing here is that we've already seen this market bounce back to levels above what they were going into the fire. That being the case, we're encouraged at the direction the market is going. It's still not great, obviously, for producers on the ground. That's really going to hinge on what USDA uncovers in that investigation and where we need to go from there.
USDA's investigation is expected to conclude by the end of this year. Well, more coming up next.
Hey, Luna, why was the jack-o'-lantern afraid to cross the road?
I don't know, Jack. Why?
Because it had no guts. Get it?
Whoa, did you see the Yokohama tires on that SUV?
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of those lately.
That's because there's a big sale at Tire-Rama until October 31st. Get up to $80 back on any set of qualifying Yokohama tires, even winter tires.
Oh, speaking of winter, what's black, white, orange, and wattles? A penguin carrying a pumpkin.
Roots, they anchor CHS to Montana. CHS is your partner for feed, for fuel, for agronomy, for grain. CHS is the largest agricultural cooperative in the world. CHS leads because our owners know this land and know how to make the most of this modern farming world. CHS is your cooperative. CHS, creating connections to empower agriculture.
Well, social media was abuzz Wednesday after Miss Montana USA Marissa Underwood made posts on the Miss Montana USA Instagram account promoting a vegan lifestyle and misinformation about animal agriculture. The Montana Stock Growers Association saw this as an opportunity to kick off a positive, fact-based campaign to share agriculture's story and to correct the misinformation.
We had some members send us her story on Instagram, and I responded with, oh goodness, we really need to educate, share our story instead of letting this misinformation be spread, especially in Montana. We curated a response and put that on our Instagram for her to see and tagged her in it, and for every one of our followers to know that we don't take this uneducated response very well, so we wanted to really get ahead of that message.
Through social media, MSGA shared scientific data and facts about agriculture, a method of education all agriculturalists should utilize.
We really think it's important to share your story and share with the public what you're doing on your ranch and what makes it so great and what makes it sustainable. Those messages are always better than negative messages bashing other people, so it's really important to stay positive and really show that genuineness of where you're coming from and be willing to educate others and talk to them even though they might not be where you're from and might not know what you do. So educate, stay positive, and stay factual.
Now, we did reach out to Underwood for a statement, but did not receive one by this broadcast. The positive message by stock growers and others may have opened a bigger door for dialogue. On social media, Miss Montana USA shared she wants to have an open conversation about agriculture and would be willing to tour a ranch. Now, a resource that you could utilize to better educate yourself on facts and information about agriculture is Your Beef Checkoff's beefitswhatsfordinner.com website that has a whole host of information to better yourself as an advocate. Have a great day, everyone.